Hi, we're Suzanne and Bill Ebel. In early January, we were reading the Albuquerque Journal one morning, and we read an article about the mounting pandemic crisis as it's affecting people's ability to pay their monthly rents. And the pandemic is causing really a horrible situation for some of our city's residents. The city is doing something about it to help, but the article said there were still over 400 people on a waiting list for help. Whatever the details of that were, we became very concerned and convicted that we'd like to do a little something to help. So with the support of the Mission Committee, Ministry Unit, and the session, we came up with a little plan, and Bill's going to tell you about it.
Well, as Suzanne mentioned, when we read that article, there were over 400 people on a waiting list, and because of the pandemic, and we did a lot of research about ways we might help, and found that the Salvation Army has a program set up to do that. And it was interesting to us, the Salvation Army was started by a Presbyterian minister in London in the 1850s, and they're spread and doing services throughout the United States, including 7 locations in New Mexico. So we selected them, and we've asked Eric Shane from the Salvation Army to come in and tell you a little bit about what they do.
Hi, I'm Eric Shane with the Salvation Army. Relief of people with rent issues is one of the biggest problems we have right now. We don't have the funding for it. And we have 5 to 10 families every day coming in and asking for rental assistance.
Wow.
And unfortunately, good or bad, the moratorium on evictions has just created a tidal wave of demand for large amounts, and it's one of the hardest things people have to ask for. They can ask for utility assistance and food, but it's when they feel like they're not managing their affairs for staying in their home is when it's really a hardship, and it's that some of them don't even want to talk to us. But we find it's a big need. And once people get evicted, of course, they'll sleep in their cars. It's harder with the requirements for like double rent deposits. It's really harder for them to ever get a home again. So we're really aiming at avoiding homelessness. So we would really appreciate your help. The Salvation Army is well equipped to do this. We've been doing it everywhere for over 150 years, and we could really appreciate the help right now. It's a crisis.
So Sandia Presbyterian Church has established a fund with the Salvation Army to support the eviction prevention. And we would like to invite you to join with us. Bill and I have made a contribution to start off, and we hope that you will consider this prayerfully and join with us in the project.
Okay, and the ways in which you can help are to leave a check in the offering plate outside the sanctuary, send a check to the church. They should be made out to Sandia Presbyterian Church, and with a note about eviction prevention on them, or go to a drop down on our website and look for eviction prevention. We're excited about partnering with the Salvation Army on this because the work they do is done in the name of Christ. Those of you who in the church who might have issues, whether it's rent or something else, be sure to contact our own Deacons Fund because they're there to help people within our church. We thank you for your time and we wish you well.